everyone. Thank you all for being here. My name is Alon. I'm the CEO of SSV Labs, which is the core team behind SSV Network. I want to talk about the great things we're doing with Lido and the projects we've been doing with the hopes and goals of really creating infrastructure for decentralized staking, keeping Ethereum censorship resistant and fault tolerant. And with that, we really focused on a flagship project called SimpleDVT. SimpleDVT was born with the idea that we want to bootstrap on mainnet as soon as possible DVT usage. And so with the help with Lido, we actually created a dedicated module. It was a second module for the Lido router to host DVT clusters on mainnet as soon as possible. And that was really, really great. This is how it looks like. So a dedicated module just for Lido. Dedicated module just for DVT, where the idea was we can create those DVT clusters. And that was really, really innovative. Back in the day when we started talking about it, DVT was in its infancy. We weren't even on mainnet when we started talking about it. But together with Lido and their dedication for decentralization, we pushed it through and actually made it happen. And it's actually not the only innovation that happened with SimpleDVT. We actually got introduced on mainnet to use DKG, distributed key generation, for the very first time at that type of setup, specifically for DVT, but in general on mainnet, which means that none of the cluster participants actually hold the full key. Those two innovations really gave way to the DVT module, the SimpleDVT module, and that was really, really great. And it was a really, really strong first step towards decentralization and really at scale. The current state of SimpleDVT is that around 60,000 ETH are running from the Lido router on SSV today. We introduced close to 200 new operators to Lido during that period, which greatly improved and increased the amount of operators on the Lido at that point. It was really, really great. And we are hoping to actually move forward with this throughout 2025, hoping hitting around 200,000 ETH on SSV from Lido running in completely distributed DVT clusters, and potentially even more if the Lido DAO will allow us. But it is important to say there are some limitations to SimpleDVT, specifically around scale and coordination. Those two types of things really create kind of a glass ceiling where it's going to be hard to push through and really scale it up quite significantly. And so my question is, can we do better? Can we do more? Specifically doing something which is highly DVT-centric, with the idea that DVT is something which can help a lot in terms of decentralization, and in general, the idea that many operators run a bunch of validators in Lido and in general. Can we make it permissionless in a way that anyone can participate with very, very low bar of entry? Can we still use advanced cryptography like DKG to ensure that nobody's actually holding the full key? And that when we do that, we only use shares for each one of the cluster participants. And of course, can we do that at scale? Can we really scale up what's happening now with SimpleDVT to the next level? And so I'm super happy to announce today a proposal that the SSV Labs is going to make to the Lido DAO called SSVLM. SSVLM is a dedicated Lido module by the SSV Labs team with the idea that we want to have a dedicated module, hopefully if the Lido DAO will allow us, to be the fourth module on mainnet, dedicated for SSV, dedicated for DVT. This is how it looks like. So we're going to have a dedicated ETH allocation just for the SSVLM module. It's going to be completely permissionless. Any node operator will be able to join in, and we'll have one of the lowest barriers of entry, with the lowest bonding requirements available today, which is quite significant. And obviously, we'll have, in return, one of the highest APRs available because of that low bond and the economics of the module itself. And it's going to be DVT first. DVT first means that we can distribute more and more of the validator set on Lido. So this is how it compares to everything else, or all of the other modules which are on Lido right now. So first of all, it's completely permissionless, right? The operator says it's completely permissionless, like the CSM module, but unlike SimpleDVT. The capital allocation, or the ETH allocation, is dedicated to DVT. The DVT clusters running that allocation, similar to SimpleDVT, but not similar to CSM. And ultimately, hopefully, the number of actual operators we can introduce into the Lido ecosystem is very much similar to CSM because of its permissionlessness. We're hoping a few thousand new operators and potentially even more as we scale up. And so this is how it kind of compared to the other modules on Lido today, and that's pretty awesome. But I want to take it maybe a step further and actually show you how it looks like. Everything you're about to see is actual code run on our DevNets, developed together with a smart contract and a web app. And so there's a dedicated web app for SSVLM for all of the operators to keep track and manage their both operators and validators. You simply connect your wallet, and basically at that point, anyone can participate. You just add your SSV operator ID, you sign it, and once you register as an SSVLM operator, you're getting into your own dashboard on the web app. That dashboard is there to keep track of your validators, state of stake, withdrawals, rewards, and different actions you can do as an operator on SSVLM. And at that point, as an operator, that's it. You've done everything you need to do. Everything else happens magically behind the scenes by the centralized set of oracles. Those oracles are responsible for just coordinating the clusters as operators are registering and getting into a queue. And so at some point, you'll be participating in a DKG ceremony and registering as part of a cluster, and the oracles through the Lido router will actually deposit ETH into that validator once it's the first one in the queue. So at that point, as an operator, you're starting to earn the rewards, you see which validators you're assigned to, and you can scale up if you want to add STETH as bond to actually have more and more validators depending on how much you want to participate. And everything happens magically behind the scenes. I think that's the key behind SSVLM that enables it to really scale up. In terms of roadmap, this is what we're planning. Beginning of next year, we'll be proposing to the Lido DAO the technical details and the general spec for SSVLM. Hopefully, once that is approved, we can move into testnet around March. From there, final vote for spec and parameters, and hopefully by May or kind of end of Q2 hit mainnet. Super ambitious, but the good thing is that beginning of next year, we'll actually open it up for registration and deposit, so operators can actually queue in and start participating once the module is on mainnet. And so, super honored to be here. Great to partner up with Lido to really make a change, make a difference in the space. Thank you so much, everyone. Woo, 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 woo.